Most web designers never close $10,000 websites. And it's not because they're not good, it's because they don't understand one thing: power dynamics. And also, they don't know what the hell they're doing once they're in a sales call. And today is going to be one of the most important videos you ever watch if you struggle specifically with closing high-ticket web design deals. So if you're only closing like $1,500 website, even $2,000 website, and you never had a chance to close like 5, 6K and 10K websites, then you get a lot of value from this video. And if you skip this and don't apply it, you keep closing the same $1,000 deals while other people are closing $10,000 and $24,000 websites. And in this video, I'm going to show you the same exact sales script I use in my web design agency to scale to over $95,000 a month. And inside my agency, we've been on hundreds of these web design sales calls right now at this point, and my clients too. Right? Another one just closed a $24,000 website for a roofer. Another one closed a $7,000 website selling to painters. And the minimum ticket size that I don't go below right now is $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 website. We don't sell anything less than $4,000 because it's not worth it for us at this point. So I just want to clarify one thing. For us to achieve this, and to be able to sell a website for $4,000 minimum, to be able to sell other website for like $20,000, we're not wizards. We just know something that you don't. It's very simple. And in this video, I'll hand it to you. So before I break down the script, let me get one thing straight. Your sales pitch right now most likely not the problem. The people you pitch into are most likely the problem though. If you're talking to broke and qualified leads, nothing I will say in this video will help you because you don't simply close $10,000 deals by talking to people with $500 in their bank account. You just can't do it. So here's something you need to understand. Before you hop on a sales call, you must filter and qualify every prospect before the call. And if you skip this, everything fails. And here's one of the main qualifications that we have as SOPs in our agency. First of all, because we run ads. So inside Facebook ads, we add something called conditional logic. So what conditional logic means, so before someone book a call with us, let's say we're targeting roofers, for example, right? We want to work only with roofers making plus $20,000 and above. That's our filter. So if any roofers, even if we want to book a call with us and type on our booking page, he's making anything less than $20,000 a month, he gets disqualified, he gets thrown out of the form right away. Like we don't even see it, right? Why we want to do that? First of all, because we don't want to waste our time with anyone making less than $20,000. They don't have the money to pay us $4,000 or $10,000 for a website. Second thing, when we add this conditional logic, we train Facebook to know exactly the ICP they're trying to target. So next time, Facebook will optimize for people that are making plus $20,000 a month. And the second qualification SOP, as soon as someone books a call with us, we have our appointments that call them as soon as they book that call. In the next 5-10 minutes, and ask them a couple questions like, are they the decision makers? Do they have the budget to invest in ads? To see if they're really invested in having that meeting. And or just browse and say, all right, cool, I'm gonna hop in this meeting. We don't wanna be talking to tire kickers. We don't wanna be talking to people that are not willing to buy. And appointments are doing an amazing job at filtering these prospects out. And just by doing this, we disqualify 60-70% of the people we speak with. And we just simply tell them we're not a fit. And by doing that, we shift the whole power dynamics. And we had a lot of people that basically, after a couple months, start making more money. It's like, hey guys, I want to work with you guys, because they can't imagine a web designer marketing company would refuse to work with them because they're not a right fit. Like we don't want your money, even like your $2,000, $3,000, it's not a right fit for us. We don't accept anything less than $4,000. That's what builds power dynamics. If you actually like web design like me and you want to scale a web design agency past $10,000, $20,000, and $30,000 per month, then check out the offer that we have below. So basically what we do is we scale web design agencies to multiple 6 figures using one client acquisition system, one offer, one pricing, and 3 upsells. And basically we take only a small commission out of them. So that means if you don't sign any new clients, you don't pay. Simple as that. So if you want to learn more about it, check out the offer that I have below, and you can check out all the amazing testimonials from students that we help scale their agencies past $10,000. So now we get this out of the way, you gotta understand that in every sales call you hop into, there is a psychological fight that you don't feel, but it's there. The client wants control. The prospect want to take over and control the sales goal. And you want to stay in control, right? And if you come in weak, like a little beta male, you've already lost. They will dominate the conversation, they will ask all the questions, and they will reduce you to a simple web design freelancer on Fiverr. And you don't want that to happen. So keep in mind, you're not a simple web designer, you're a business consultant, and you're a growth asset to their business. So here's what I say early on to avoid that. So after the small talk, asking about the weather, where they're from, all that, right? I said like, look, the goal for this call is just to ask a few questions, understand where you're at, and to see if what we do is actually a fit. And the truth is we disqualify 60 to 70% of people we talk to, because not everyone is ready for this. And that one sentence alone after the small talk flips the power dynamic. They understand very clearly that you're no longer chasing them. You don't want that deal. Now they feel lucky to be even talking to you, because like this guy's actually is like, I want to see if I'm a right fit to work with this company, right? Now, before diving into questions, this is a step that almost no one talks about when it comes to a sales script. And I don't understand why, because for me, it's make or break every sales call that we hop into, right? And it's simply showing proof, visual proofs, and lots of it. What I do simply right now in every sales call, I share my screen. I screen share past wins, testimonials, screenshots of booked calls, DMs. I cannot stress enough about this. You need to flood their brain with results before the objections even form. Why you need to do that? Because the more proof you show up front, the fewer the objections you get at the end. Now, instead of them thinking, hey, will this program work for me? Now, they think is like, hey, how do I get results like this other contractor? And if you don't have testimony, this is something I've started with initially myself. Let her heads up here, right? 4 years ago, when I started my first agency like everyone else, I didn't have any testimonials, but I understand the power of testimonials. What I've done, I partnered up with another agency, and basically I was white labeling their services. By doing that, I had the right to use their testimonials. I was giving them about like 30-40% of what I'm earning, but it was worth it at that time, because as soon as I hit $5 grand, $6 grand a month, I had my own testimonials and I could be using my own, right? But that was a layer fast track, because if I didn't have those testimonials at the beginning, I wouldn't scale my agency really fast. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we help our clients too inside my agency program. For example, Flight Digital, an agency that just joined us, they literally started ads on the 20th of March. Right now, they're doing about $40,000 a month, right? They scaled to almost $21,000 in the first 5 weeks of doing business. Why? Because they had a lot of testimonies they could leverage. They cannot simply scale to that level where they are right now very fast, exponentially, if they had just started from scratch without leveraging any testimonials. Because having and not having testimonies is the difference between prospect with trust. All right, cool, I'll trust you with $500, but I can't trust you with $6,000, $7,000, or even $10,000 because I don't see any testimonials. I would not place that bet on you. So the more testimonial you have, the easier for you to sign high-ticket web design clients. And now we get this out of the way, another mistake I want to talk about that I see a lot of you guys doing is you talk a lot, right? Like literally 70% of the sales call should be them talking, should be the prospect talking. You lead by asking questions. That's it. First, the hard questions. You know, what inspired to even do this? Like what in our ad that made you click when you want to book a call with us? And you ask them some questions about the business, like what's broken right now in their business, their leads. You need to dig deeper and to understand exactly what's broken right now in the business. And also when you ask questions, literally, please, when you ask questions, don't think about it as like, hey, I have these 5 questions that I should ask them and this and that. If I ask them one question, I need to dig deeper in the answers and chance the follow-up questions from their answers in order for me to understand exactly their pains. I can leverage that later in my pitch. And by doing this, you make them talk, you make them open up, you make them sell themselves on needing a premium solution. The only question in their head should be, can this person help me get this transformation? Here's what amateurs mess up at. They simply pitch, and I never pitch. I literally never pitch. What I literally do is build the offer with them using their words. Let me elaborate. So after asking them all the questions, I say like, hey, so based on everything you shared, the problem, the goal, and the timeline, here's what I would recommend. All right. From here, the offer doesn't feel like I'm selling them something. It feels like the only logical next step in order for them to solve the problem. Client said like, hey, this is exactly what I need. And one of my web design agency partners last week closing the $17,000 deals after following this exact sales script. So the point I'm trying to make here is you want the client to realize that the offer solved the problem. And if they don't feel that, you don't have to move forward. Now with this out of the way, let's talk about pricing. So for us, pricing is a bit different because I don't only offer web design, right? I offer web design and I offer paid ads as well. So the way I'm doing it, it's very simple. I'll tell them like, hey, look, man, there's agencies that are charging for retainers. The problem with retainers is you're always the one at risk, right? They're getting paid anyway if you get signed no clients. There's other agencies who basically charge you per lead. So you pay the X amount of dollars per lead and you could pay them like 400 leads and you get nothing at the end, right? These leads could easily turn to voicemail. I'm sure you had a lot of these issues before with other agencies, right? It's not the first conversation you're going to have with an agency. You would say, yes, I totally agree. I don't want to do retainers. I want to do pay-per leads. I don't want to do anything else like that, right? I'm not talking about website at this point. And I told them, look, as an HVAC business, they're making from 5 to 25K minimum. So 5K is the minimum. So I told them we basically charge you per every closed job. We charge you $700 for every closed jobs. And they would basically pay us for 10 closed jobs up front. Why? Is because we show them all the HVAC, but like that's where testimonials come from, right? They pay me $7,000 up front without the website. Because once I show them testimonials from other HVAC businesses, or ShareMice can show them exactly the job that we're getting for them. And that's true because we have HVAC businesses that are basically working with us right now for like 14, 15 months. Do you think they will pay us for 14, 15 months if we're not closing deals and getting results from it? Because I'm only paying for closed job. This is our relationship. And we have a system right now to track it. This is like Google Guarantee, as you see, right? This is like charge, not charge. So if I open this conversation right here, I can basically show recording. I can see that it's 3-minute, 13-second conversation where I would land clearing client has closed a $12,000 deal. So he can't tell me I haven't closed a job because we basically track this with all transparency. And also why it's a killer offer, because from our side, we don't pay anything if the job is not closed, if they don't have a high qualified call. But of course, I have to talk about it for hours because there's a lot of micro details that goes into it. So we sell them a 7K package, and they usually pay us 7K every 6 weeks for these 10 closed jobs. And we also charge them about 4K, 3 to 4K for websites. So usually it's going to be a 10K deal. We have some payment facilities where they could pay us 5, 6K upfront and 4K in 2 weeks. We do that a lot with a lot of clients. So that's basically the end of the video. And if you have aspirations, if you want to scale your web design agency using this framework right here, so $40,000, $50,000 a month, I just want to click the link below, check out all the web design agencies that we've scaled just very, very recently to above $20,000, $30,000, and $40,000 and $50,000 per month. See you soon. Cheers.